Hi everyone, this is Sam Proper. Welcome to a segment where we integrate some actionable business tips and lessons called the Proper Perspective. Today I want to share with you a little reality check. If you're asking yourself, is it even possible for me to start a business? I have no money to spare and what feels like no time to spare. How can I work full-time, start scrappy, and build it up all at the same time? And usually what people are really asking is, how can I do this without investors, without a huge following, without quitting my job, without risking absolutely everything I've worked for, including your reputation? The short answer is, yeah, you can. The longer answer is only if you're willing to be focused instead of flashy. And if you're willing to put yourself out there, even when it feels awkward, even when you get the cringy looks, even when the friends that you expected to support you don't. Because you're not doing this for a handful of opinions. You're doing it for the thousands of strangers who might genuinely benefit from what you have to offer. One of the biggest myths of entrepreneurship is that businesses fail because they don't have enough money, that you need tens of thousands of dollars to even start, that success only comes with permission from an investor or a pitch on Shark Tank. And that's just not true. Most businesses fail because they start too big. They try to build too many things at once, or they spend money trying to look legitimate instead of actually being legitimate. When you start with $500, you don't have the luxury of distraction. And that's actually your advantage, your edge, because constraint forces clarity. And let me say that again. Constraint forces clarity. You have to be scrappy, you have to be resilient, and you have to bring real value because you can't hide behind the fancy structures, big endorsements, or expensive optics because you don't have them. That same constraint might give you the edge that you need to outpace the competition and outwork them. Take a look at businesses like See the Way I See, Perfectly Pressed, Gymshark. They printed shirts in their garage. James Clear, who wrote Atomic Habits, he started a free newsletter for years and didn't monetize it until much later. My first quick tip I realized looking back is that digital first isn't a shortcut. It can actually be a strategy. When I started, I led with digital and service-based education, not because I had some grand master plan for physical products later, but because it was the smartest way to prove value quickly. It's what I had time and money to do and motivation for. Having now done both digital and physical, I pay close attention to other successful businesses, and I can tell you this with confidence. For most people, digital first or dropshipping first is intentional. It's not accidental. With $500, you're not trying to build inventory-heavy products, complex systems, or something that takes years and years and years to build. You're trying to prove resonance, relevance. You want to create something small and see how it lands. Then you can grow it 2x, 3x, 4x, until it's sustainable and can replace your income. Digital or small batch products gives you low overhead, fast feedback, global reach, and very little downside if it doesn't land. But here's where people go wrong. They try to release everything they've got at once, 100% of your value. They assume their first product will be the same one that they're selling 5 years from now, and it won't be. And that is not a bad thing. If you're actually listening to your audience, adapting, and improving, your product should evolve with them. So start with something small that demonstrates what you are capable of. That might look like a worksheet or a checklist, a short PDF guide, a mini calendar instead of a full planner, a good notes template instead of a full product suite, a digital wallpaper, a template, or a printable. For physical products, this might look like a test design in dropshipping, collaborating with somebody who already does hats, shirts, or bracelets, one t-shirt design in 2 colorways. Co-creating, test demands, and learning without risking everything. Your first product isn't meant to make you rich, define your entire brand, or to be perfect. It's meant to test relevance. If somebody won't spend $5 or $15 with you, they're not going to spend $50 or thousands later. And that's not rejection, it's just information. Now, if you're listening and thinking, all right, I could make something small, but would anybody actually even care? That's exactly why the next piece matters. It's not product first, it is people first. If your product idea is still forming, that's okay, that's normal, it should take time. The easiest thing that you can build right now in your free time is community. People are exhausted. They're constantly sold to on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, email, ads on ads on ads. So the fastest way to really cut through the noise isn't to sell harder, it's to serve first. Think of it as 50% product development, 50% community building. That means teaching, sharing, clarifying, taking something complex and making it usable. Get super freaking comfortable being uncomfortable and putting yourself out there, because when you are product ready, that only amplifies what you're already doing. Ask yourself, what do people constantly ask me for help with? What do I explain over and over? What problem do I already know how to solve, or maybe I'm doing in my free time? Value doesn't have to be groundbreaking. Some of the content I personally love are safety reminders, honest reviews, workflows. Here's what I wish I knew 10 years ago. Simplifying intimidating processes like taxes and legal. I love funny, wholehearted, real day in the life YouTube videos. And here's the rule. If you can help somebody save time, money, energy, and confusion, you have a product. And if you show up consistently before even asking for a dime, when you do, it won't feel transactional. It'll just feel aligned. Next, consider starting small, but position really strong. This is where most people blow their budget. They think more products means more legitimacy. More options means more sales. But in reality, more options gets a little confusing. Some of the most successful small businesses start with one product. They do limited drops or seasonal drops. They take pre-orders once demand is clear and they have a little more cash flow. This only works if you can deliver. So don't overpromise. The smartest founders ask their audience what they want. They read Reddit threads and recurring complaints. They study Amazon reviews and find gaps, and actually listen before they build. Your job isn't to impress people. It's to solve one problem really well. Positioning beats volume every time. One clear solution is better than 10 vague ones. Now let's talk about money. Reinvest before you reward yourself. Let's say you make your first 30 to 50 sales. That money does feel exciting, and it should. Congratulations. But this is where discipline matters. The mistake I see over and over is upgrading everything immediately, ordering inventory just in case, paying for tools you don't actually need yet. You don't need a custom website, a brand designer, a developer, and mass inventory order. But what you do need is feedback, iteration, proof of repeat demand. So reinvest in improving the product, clearer messaging, better delivery, better education, more social media. And here's my favorite part. Learn to do the things yourself first before you hire somebody. Not because you'll do them forever, but because founders who understand their systems make better decisions later on. You should know how your website works, your checkout functions, how your product is delivered. Scrappy isn't unprofessional, it's informed. And finally, you are the brand before the brand actually exists. This is where I'll gently push back. Yes, AI content is everywhere. Yes, automation is convenient, but trust is still built through humanity, not the easy way out. People don't buy because your Canva looks good. They buy because they understand you. They trust you. They feel seen. Clarity beats polished every time. Consistency beats perfection every time. And if you're willing to show that you're thinking, explain your choices, be honest about what you're learning and struggling with, you will outlast people chasing aesthetics without substance. Now, you're going to want to save these key highlights. If you remember nothing else, remember this. Your product is a test, not a legacy. If it doesn't sell, that's information, not failure. And build for clarity before scale. Financial constraint isn't a disadvantage, it's your filter. And you don't need permission, you just need focus and action. You don't need a viral moment, a massive following, or perfect confidence, but you really do need one problem and one solution and the courage to start small, because momentum doesn't come from just thinking about it in your head and wondering if you're going to do it next year. It comes from actually doing it. This was The Proper Perspective. If this episode helped you see what's possible, even just a little bit, then it did its job. And if you're sitting with an idea right now, don't wait to make it perfect. Don't tell me you're going to do it in a year. Make it real. And when you do, tag your small business in the comments on any of the Don't Miss the Conversation social media pages. I want to see what you build. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your day with me. Remember to follow this podcast, like, share with friends, and subscribe so we can keep bringing you great information and a really good conversation.